Let's be real for a second. If you're spending hours rewriting prompts just to get a decent result, or you're constantly fixing answers that sound super confident but are just plain wrong, you're doing it wrong. We've dug into the big models of 2026. We're talking GPT-5, Claude, Gemini, and our verdict is in.
Yep, you heard that right. The models aren't the problem. Your prompting style is. That little gap between a lazy prompt and a great one is costing you hours, every single week. So today we're going to trace how we got here and break down the exact techniques you need to stop the hallucinations and get what you want way faster.
So let's start with a problem I know everyone has felt. You ask for something, and the AI comes back with this beautifully written, totally self-assured answer that is completely wrong. All that time you spend double-checking and rewriting, that's the hidden tax you're paying for bad prompts. Does that whole cycle feel a little too familiar? That frustrating back and forth is the #1 sign that your methods are stuck in the past. But here's the good news. This is a totally solvable problem. You just have to understand how much the game has changed. See, to really get how to prompt now, you have to appreciate just how dramatically the technology has shifted. This isn't some minor software update. The AIs we're working with in 2026 are fundamentally different beasts. Just look at this leap from 2023. We are way past the text-only training wheels era. Today's models are omni-modal, a fancy way of saying they get everything: audio, video, images, the works, and they respond at pretty much human speed. Plus, they're not trapped in a time capsule anymore. They have live access to the web, which means that old knowledge cutoff problem is finally a thing of the past. And this, right here, illustrates the biggest leap of all: memory. The context window. That's how much information an AI can remember at once has just exploded. Early models could hold about 8,000 tokens. Now, Google's Gemini can handle 10 million. You can literally feed it an entire encyclopedia, and it will remember the details. It's wild.
So all this new power means that techniques that used to be advanced are now just standard. Chain of thought prompting is the perfect example. That's where you force the AI to explain its reasoning step by step. It's not a neat little trick anymore. It's an absolutely essential command if you want an accurate answer to any complex question.
So now that we know what these things are capable of, here's the official AI verdict guide on how to actually control them. This is the new playbook.
These 7 rules are your foundation. Seriously, mastering them is the difference between fighting with an AI and making it feel like an extension of your own mind. We've got be ridiculously specific, front-load instructions, use few-shot prompting, force chain of thought, trim the fat, frame the role, and iterate your prompts. Now let's break down some of the most important ones.
Rule #1 is non-negotiable. Be ridiculously specific. The difference between asking for a poem and asking for this is the difference between getting generic nonsense and something you can actually use. Think of it like giving directions. You don't just say, head downtown, right? You give the exact street and building number. Same principle applies here. Next up, front-load your instructions. This is so simple but so powerful. Do not bury your main request in the middle of a long paragraph. Put the most important command right there at the top. A simple label like task can drastically cut down on the AI getting confused.
In this is one of my favorites. It's called few-shot prompting, but really it just means use examples. If you need an email rewritten in a certain tone, don't try to describe the tone, just show the AI a before and an after. It's a pattern-matching machine, and it will replicate that style far more accurately than it can ever interpret your description of it.
All right, theory is great, but let's see what this actually looks like in the real world. Here's how these rules can take a vague, useless request and turn it into a perfect output. I mean, just look at the difference. The vague prompt gets you a rambling, Wikipedia-style essay that you can't do anything with. The specific prompt, it gets you a targeted, 3-point summary that's ready to go. Exactly what you asked for, no more, no less. Okay, now for a classic logic test. If you ask an AI this question directly, there's a good chance it'll just guess and hallucinate an answer. It's a known failure point, but we can fix it.
And the key is to force that chain of thought reasoning we were just talking about. By simply adding a phrase like, check step by step, or explain your reasoning before you ask the question, you basically activate its logic circuits.
And here's what happens. Instead of just guessing, the model is forced to show its work. It lays out the basic logic, 2 odds make an even, and arrives at the correct answer. That simple command turns it from a coin flipper into a genuine problem solver.
Now, it's easy to get carried away, so let's get real for a minute about what's good and what's still broken in 2026. Because even with these powerful techniques, you have to understand the limitations.
So, the good news? The efficiency gains are massive, and custom GPTs that let you save your best prompts for later are a total game changer. The bad news? Hallucinations absolutely still happen if you get lazy with your prompts. Security is a real concern. Things like prompt injection attacks are a serious risk. And inefficient prompts don't just waste your time, they literally burn through your budget and waste money. So, where does that leave us? Well, prompting in 2026 is an incredibly powerful skill. But it is a skill. You can't just throw random questions at these things and expect magic. So here's how you can start mastering it today.
Here's your game plan. It's simple. First, experiment. Pick one task you do all the time and just dedicate some time to crafting the perfect prompt for it. Second, save your wins. Build a personal library of your greatest hits so you can reuse and remix them. And finally, stay updated. The specific tools will change, but the core principles of being specific and giving clear instructions, those will always apply.
Because that's what this all boils down to. This isn't about learning how to talk to a robot. It's about reclaiming your time. The difference between spending 10 minutes fighting with an AI and getting exactly what you need in 30 seconds, well, that's everything.
The people who master this skill won't be the ones replaced by AI. They'll be the ones directing it to do work that no one else can. So the final verdict here isn't about the models, it's about you. Will you be the one giving the instructions or the one left struggling to keep up?